Hi everyone, my name is Piterpakulski. Today we'll continue creation of financial model of a yoga studio, of yoga classes. And today we're going to create a very important statement. It is cash flow statement. So cash flow statement, the peculiarity of cash flow statement is that this is a 100% is automatic form, where all the inflows and outflows of your business idea go. And here you're able to see the amount of financing that you need. You're able to see when your investment project gains these or that revenues, these or that amount of profit. And I will just create this statement from scratch for you to make you do the same. If you find this video valuable, you may give us a like, subscribe our channel, share this video with your friends. Also, you can order financial model from scratch for your unique business idea or for your existing business. So let's start creation of a cash flow statement. So first of all, we will create the timeline for this statement. So what we will do, we will just travel through the model, gathering the data for the revenues, expenses. So all this process is completely automatic. So we will start with revenues. So we will just travel to the beginning. We can see the revenue.
So this is the time where we take the revenue. Then we extrapolate this formula to the right.
Then we take direct costs. So we're traveling to this block of outputs. We're searching for the red line with direct costs. Here it is. Now we will take payroll. So we're just going through the model, see the payroll block, searching for red lines with expenses. So we have to avoid typing the data inside cash flow statement, because when you will start creation of different scenarios, you may, if you type data inside the cash flow directly inside the cash flow statement, you will face, you will start making mistakes. And to avoid this issue, you'd better make this statement 100% automized. So this is payroll. So the next block is fixed costs. So you just go through the model, search for fixed cost lines, red lines. Here they are.
So the next block will be taxes.
We will just go above the table of cash flows. We will create an additional block for taxes. So for example, we have revenue tax. We will have, for example, payroll tax, profit tax, asset tax, so here we will just set up the values. These will be inputs, so we mark them with our specific color that goes with all of our inputs. So for example, we will have this rate for revenue tax, this value for payroll tax, this value for profit tax, and for example we will pay $4,000 a month as a asset tax. Let's assume that. So now we go back to our cash flow statement. Here we will just place all our taxes. So we will take the revenue, multiply it on the value of the tax, fixing column and line. Then we take payroll, We will also fix this value. We will calculate the profit tax a little bit later. Then we will take the asset tax and multiply it on the line whether we have or whether we don't have an operating activity at this moment. So we just search for chronology block, so we have chronology block, we have operating activity line, so we multiply this value on this line. Then we extrapolate this formula to the right. So what we will do next, we will calculate the result from operating activity. So this is actually the real amount of money that we have in the pocket after operating activity itself, how the business is breathing itself without loans. So to calculate the result from operating activity, we take the revenues minus direct costs minus payroll minus fixed costs minus taxes. Then we extrapolate this formula to the right. So now we take the investment stage. Then we go to the model, search for data for investment stage. Now we will create the line for result from investment activity. Now we will extrapolate this formula to the right. Don't forget to add a minus here because investments it is an outflow. Now we go to financing activity. Here we will place equity. Then we will place the inflow of the loan that we can take in the bank. Then we will add the payments for this loan, principal payments, interest payments, so now we will calculate the result from financing activity. This will be equity plus loan minus payments for the loan, interest and principal. Then we extrapolate this formula to the right. So it's time for us to go back to profit tax. We need to calculate the net profit. We will copy the timeline. So we will take revenues minus direct costs minus payroll minus fixed costs minus revenue tax minus payroll tax minus asset tax minus principal payments minus interest payments So now we can create the formula for profit tax. We will use a function for that. So because we have losses, we won't be able to pay profit tax. This will be 0. We will adjust the data later. Now we go back to the cash flow statement. We go here, take the data from the table that we've just created, extrapolate this formula to the timeline, What we will do now, we will create the line for cash balance at the beginning of the period. And cash balance at the end of the period. So this will be the end of the cash flow statement. So what we will do now, to calculate the cash balance at the end of the period, we will take the result from operating activity plus the result from investment activity plus the result from financing activity plus cash balance at the beginning of the period. Let it be 0 on the first month. Then we go to the second month, then we place this value here, then we take this value and move it to the right. We also create zeros here. So now we just take all these cells and extrapolate the formula to the right. So now we have our cash flow statement ready. We've calculated the revenues, expenses, operating expenses. We've calculated the result from operating activity, the amount of money that we have in the pocket. At the end of each month, we've calculated the cash balance at the end of the period. So now it's time for us to calculate how much money we need to start our yoga studio, and this will be the topic of our next video. If you find this video valuable, you may give us a like, subscribe our channel, share this video with your friends. Also, you can order financial model from scratch for your unique business idea. So see you next videos. Thank you and bye.